Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and although I've never listened to Straight Talk Wrestling, I think you should. Have a nice day.
Hey, this is George the Iceman, president of Destiny World Wrestling, and you're listening to Straight Talk Wrestling.
Hey, this is Joey Maximum. You are listening to Straight Talk Wrestling.
Hey, it's the Bubblegum Princess Alexi Nicole, and you're listening to Straight Talk Wrestling.
Hey, this is the Walking Weapon Josh Alexander, the king of Canadian Strong Style, and you are listening to Straight Talk Wrestling.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Aiden Prince. You are listening to Straight Talk Wrestling.
What is up, wrestling fans? Your host, George McKime, in the building. I'm here with my cohort in crime, Steve the Animal Mitchell.
What's going on, Straight Talk Wrestling fans?
What's going on at this? Episode number 73. We are taking a break from heated debates. We're going right back to After Revival Part 2. No, I'm joking. No Part 2 on After Revival. That was our previous episode, though, so don't forget to check it out on all our platforms. That was a pretty heated debate, that one, actually. Back and forth, no resolve. The Animal made a post, still talking smack about them after the episode.
And keep in mind,
I wasn't happy.
Keep in mind, too, comment section, everybody, this was all before they won the tag belts, but at the same time, though, after they won the tag belts, it's hilarious how they've literally done nothing with them ever since they won the tag belts, so that's pretty amazing.
They're building. Your opinion. They're building.
Yeah, they're building for Gargano and Ciampa to come in and beat them.
Absolutely, and I'm okay with that, because that'll be another barn burner, much like they had in NXT. But I don't want to get into that.
Exactly.
I don't want to get into that.
Let's get into today's episode.
Today's episode, episode 73, we are going back in time. We are going to relive the epic event that was the Destiny World Wrestling 5-year anniversary show, Carnage. Took place late January. The date is skipping me. January 28th, I want to say?
January
21st.
I actually want to say January, the 21st.
21st, there we go. January 21st was highlighting their 5-year anniversary show. They had some great events, great matches. We had Aiden Prince going at Tyler Bate. We had Pete Dunne going at Josh Alexander to finally figure out who the official Destiny, undisputed Destiny World Champion was, because Josh was the interim because Pete had stepped away due to injury. And it was just lit up. We also saw the creep in of the Blackcraft Wrestling, which led to the Ritual, which just happened Saturday, which I had the awesome George the Iceman, cannot thank you again. I had the awesome, esteemed, graciousness to attend that event, and man, was it a barn burner. But also in Carnage, you had that 6-man tag to find out the Mr. Destiny, right there, version of Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that was an incredible lineup with Lee Costa, Ethan Page, Kobe Durst, Channing Decker, who of course walked away with the inaugural. Now he has
a full calendar
he's got
year.
The case for the full calendar year to cash in and become the Destiny World Champion for a Destiny World Championship match. We had Ryan Wright and we had ACH, which was just absolutely incredible. And it was actually Sunday, January 20th, not the 21st.
Ah, the 20th.
But we were one day off, so that's pretty sweet.
We're pretty good. I actually said the 28th at first. It shows you that my calendar sucks.
Oh well, we were pretty close. One day off.
Yeah, one day off. But there was a lot of great matches that night. There was an awesome beginning of the night match with the tag team match there, which you saw in my reaction. If you go back to our Facebook page, it was all about it because it was such a sweet finish. And then you had Desi Hit Squad there. You had just a lot of a killer. As always, as Destiny does, they bring together such a killer lineup. It's hard to really remember because that night flew by in such an esteem. But also there was a lot of other things happening. You and I, as much as we wanted to take in the event and soak it in, being wrestling fans, we were working.
Yeah,
we were working.
A lot of work going on.
I don't mean we were working in terms of the podcast stuff. We were tweeting, we were taking video, we were doing all the stuff we usually do whenever we attend a Destiny event. We were promoting the crap out of them because they deserve it. I mean, they don't need help from us, but every little bit of promotion helps.
Exactly.
But we were working because you had a big moment that night.
Yeah, that was an incredible night. I'm very gracious for everything that Destiny asked of me to do that night. I was given the very prestige honor of being elected to perform the drums for both Josh Alexander and Pete Dunne to the ring, to accompany them as they made both of their entrances. And George, he actually took that very same camera that is going on right now.
Hello.
Pointed it at...
You can't see it, all our fans in the radio world can't see it, but it's here. It's beautiful. It's a Nikon.
Exactly.
It's pretty sweet.
I pointed at it, but nobody could see it from the actual computer.
waved.
Unless you're
I
watching
waved.
it, unless you watch it on YouTube, and you'll get to see that, and you'll watch it on Instagram
Yes.
clips and all kinds of stuff like that a little bit later on. There's going to be actually a full documentary. I'm in the process right now of editing it all together. There was tons of footage, tons of things that were going on that night leading up to it, and also the biggest part of it was that I had to keep it a very, very big hush-hush. I had to keep it a huge secret. There was only a very few elected people that were allowed in on this, and it was just kind of one of those things that just it was brought to my attention about a month before, specifically because of a clip that I literally just threw up in my story on Instagram. It was like a 5-second clip, a 10-second clip of me playing Josh Alexander's theme on my drum set. And Destiny messaged me back, and it was the next day, and we were just kind of getting the ball rolling. It was about a month in advance that we were taking notice of this, until Destiny had to go back and basically have a little powwow, a meeting amongst themselves to find out, whether or not this was actually the thing that they wanted to do. Because quite frankly, this has been this was a brand new thing. No one had ever really done this before. The most that I'd ever seen had been when you watch, say, like a WrestleMania or Fozzy on Monday Night Raw or anything like that. It's really just kind of a deal of they have a stage for you. It's on the ramp, but it's really all about the wrestlers. It has nothing. They show little clips of the band, but other than that, it's really all about the wrestler and what's going on, just to big up everything about that big fight feel, and that's the way that it really came off that night. It was a great idea, and we ran with it, and then George filmed the whole episodicness of the actual performance itself. Great footage, unbelievable, like great work on George's part of being able to capture everything about the actual my performance, but also making it about everything that had to do with Josh and Pete Dunne, specifically because of the fact that it was just such I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it, because of just how much of a high honor this truly was to get to perform for the gentleman that is now he is now in like his 720th day as NXT UK champion, that being Pete Dunne. And then of course Josh, anybody who was anybody. No one needed to tell you the script. If you were a fan and you understood the business and you understood what was going on, you got it, that it was a change of the guard, that now NXT UK is NXT UK. They need their flagship bearer back. So he can't be in these two places being... for those of you who only knew Pete as the NXT UK champion, he had been, I think it was 557 days at that point that he was... but was the the World Wrestling Champion at that point. So he was holding 2 belts at a combined total. It was about 1,100 days at that point, because it was just over the 600-day mark for Pete, for the NXT UK title at that point.
Well, they were actually supposed to have this match back in November at the first pay-per-view.
Yes.
But Pete had to step away because he was injured.
Yeah.
So they brought Loki in, who absolutely killed it, and then they threw Aiden Prince there for just an epic triple threat. But this actually changing the guard was supposed to happen back in November.
Yes.
But because of the injury, I had to hold on, and then much negotiation, graciousness for the WWE's part to say, yeah, we'll let him come out.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, you don't need to understand the script or understand the business, especially when it's being promoted as Pete Dunne's last independent fight.
Yeah.
So if it's his last independent fight, he can't retain. Now, the script could have gone off kilter where they could have had him retain, then retire the belt that night, and then they could have done something like a tournament. But why would you do that when you have a bona fide superstar in Josh Alexander waiting in the wings?
Exactly.
It's only logical that Josh would become the next guy.
Exactly.
So, I mean, when you have somebody waiting in the wings, there's no need to. But if they did want to do that, they could have done that. They could have went with like a tournament, to see. I would have actually wouldn't mind seeing Aiden Prince versus Josh Alexander in the finals of that tournament. That would have been one hell of a goddamn match. Right. Or even throw Decker and Josh in that. Like, that would have been, that actually, I'm getting actually chills about that, just thinking about that. That would have been pretty sexy.
Of what that would have been.
They could have done a whole pay-per-view of just that night, like a King of the Ring type feel.
Yeah,
you go, you fight, you move on. You go, you fight, you move on. You could have had 3 tiers. Would have been insane. Start with 8, work with 4, final 2. Oh,
right.
I would have been all about it. Everyone would have had to wrestle twice that night. It would have been
Right.
insane.
And it would have been just the story of who can take out Pete Dunne, because literally it's been like a thing of like they built him as like what they were originally doing with Asuka's character. Now they've essentially done that with Pete, of just like, okay, we're going to keep this guy champion as long as we can and make him the flagship bearer of this entire company.
Well, yeah, and also they had to wait to really build up the crop of talent that they have in NXT. UK.
Exactly.
And
in Destiny, they were kind of building with all those guys too.
well, think of the guys that have held the Destiny belt. I mean, like we've been pumping Destiny since we interviewed Iceman back last October.
Yeah, exactly.
But think about the guys who have held the belt: Rey Mysterio Jr.,
Rey Fenix,
Ricochet,
Yeah.
Pete Dunne, Josh Alexander. I believe Austin Aries even held it for a
Yeah, I
night.
think Austin Aries actually held it for a little bit.
Austin Aries, like just a list
While
goes
he
on.
was going and taking every other title and every other
Great
company.
wrestler, just bad attitude, right? Shitty attitude. But
Yeah.
you know what? Like I don't even want to get into him.
And your
but
stupid A double name.
but
that
you're
call
thinking about all the guys that literally have held this title. I mean, this title's got some prestige,
Yeah.
some moxie, some like a set of cojones to it, right? Like it's got that feel that
Yeah, it
this
does.
this is a major. When you come to Ontario, when you come to Canada, and you want to get recognized here, or you want to get well-rounded here,
Yeah.
you go fight for Destiny.
Yeah.
And it's simple, it's cut and dry. Like yeah, they're building their own crop within. They have some amazing talent.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those guys that's kind of circling the indie scene, if you're coming to Ontario, the only person you contact is George. And if you don't contact George, then you're an idiot.
And straight up, they made it cool to be champion again. They made it like not this thing of and same with NXT UK of keeping Pete the champion for as long as they kept him, for the fact that they made it fun to see a champion again. That it's like a thing where it's just like, when is this guy going to lose? And it's like that's really what it used to be. It used to be a thing of like you
it's
would
the
see this
undercard
guy
feel.
go on like this 10-year, go on like this 5-year run of like holy
Bruno
crap.
San Martina.
Yeah, or like, you know, for like even up to the Triple H time, or John Cena, or like the time where it was just
Shawn
like
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, like any of they did it all the way up until the John Cena time, where it was just like, when is this guy gonna lose? Like, how are you gonna beat this guy? It's
But
crazy.
you gotta look at the
Or
talent
Lesnar.
crop.
Actually,
Yeah.
Lesnar is probably the biggest.
Don't get me started on that guy.
The biggest name in terms of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of people hate him, but at the exact same time, he's still got that moniker about him of just like, who's gonna beat this guy? Like, holy crap! Like, I get it. Like, you know, he goes in there, does a couple F5s and everything like that, but it's like, you know, Brock always just brings that huge, like, you just literally look at him and it's still like that kind of thing in the
He
back.
doesn't
where
bring
he
it. Paul
literally-
Heyman
he
brings
shows
it.
up.
It's the same thing we were talking about with the Revival. It's the build. It's the culmination in a Brock Lesnar match. That's where I'll shut the hell up about it.
Totally.
The culmination of Brock Lesnar match. Every culmination sucks.
All of them.
But the build.
Exactly.
The build, I'll give you credit there.
When you watch him at
when
the top
build
of the ramp
matters.
and jumping around and doing his big boy kiddie
Still-
shit,
still-
it's
still
like,
doing the thing where
seriously,
the
I look
pyro
at him
would
and I'm
be.
like, I wouldn't want to fight that guy. Like, he would literally kick my ass like in two seconds.
I take a
'Cause he
sledgehammer
just
to his
looks
knees.
like that.
I'm a
And-
sledgehammer to
or-
his knees kind
or
of guy.
a guy like Pete Dunne, where he's got like that really menacing looking face on him that it's like, whatever, he's a small dude, but whatever, it doesn't matter. He just looks like he's gonna kick your ass 9 ways a Sunday, and it's like that's what Destiny really did, because I kind of want to go back to that.
Right.
Really, like let's
No,
go back to
we
the
were just
Destiny
we were
point
just
that,
talking
like,
about we were just talking about in the grand scheme of things about the prestige that have held the
Yeah.
title, and now we could say that we have a bona fide Canadian strong style champion
that they're
in
gonna
Jo-
run with for a while.
They're going to run with for a while, and it was great, and it actually was amazing to think about that night and the changing of the guard, the fact that we were in the house to see, you know, all the struggles. Because if you went back and you listened to our profile of Josh Alexander that we did right before the Christmas break, we kind of broke down everything. We read the letter where he had to step away because he had the neck surgery, wasn't even sure. But as usual, doctors, they don't know their heads from a hole in the ground. And
Yeah.
one said to him, hey, you can't do it. One said you can do it, but you're restricted. One said this, one said that. And then when he found out that he could actually do it, he wasn't sure how he was going to be welcomed back into the business.
Yeah.
Because when you say your goodbyes, it's like your goodbyes, but it's like Daniel Bryan. I'm sure he had chills when he walked away. Well, he didn't really walk away. He became a GM, became a face, if you will. And then when he got his brain oxygenated and everything kind of worked out that he could step back in the ring, he probably had a little bit of nerves, like, it's been a year. Are they going to welcome me back? And I'm sure Josh knows those feelings because Josh was there. But not only did we welcome him back, we didn't make him our Cinderella story. We didn't make him our face. He took that and he ran with it. He took that name. He became the forefront on his own right, from hustling, grinding, fighting, great